Hi everybody, Christopher Naiman. Today we're going to do some free motion work in continuation from a previous video I did on my punching with fancy fabrics. Stay with me, you don't want to miss this one. This is going to be fun. Okay, to begin our journey into doing this free motion, I'm going to use pre-wound embroidery bobbin thread. Then I'm going to use Sulky SLiver thread. This is my favorite color. This is like an opal color. This is you can get this in all your supply stores where they sell embroidery thread. And then we'll talk about the presser foot. Okay, there's different kinds of free motion presser feet you can get. Here's one. This is one example. This is another example. Some of these come with your machine. Some you buy extra. Here's another one here. Well, this machine that I'm using, I decided to use the same brand, but their stationary embroidery foot for automatic embroidery. I decided to use that. I thought that would be good. And then for our free motion, of course, we're going to use our Martelli grip. This is the Martelli 8-inch gripper. They use this for quilting. We're going to use this for free motion work. And then I'm going to show you my setup for my thread. Okay, now there are different brand sewing machines, and there are different notions available for sewing machines to use metallic threads. One of the notions available for smaller spools, we're using the smaller spools today, as you can see, the smaller spools. So here's a notion you can use. This is called the Thread Director. Now for my Ergonomic machine here, this came with an accessory spool pin. So all I did was I put on the large spool cap on this end, and I have it laying against here. It's just backed off slightly, so it has play there, and this is going to work fabulously. Okay, so let's get set up. Let's get ready to sew. Okay, I also want to point out that, as always, for these metallic threads, we use a size 14 top stitch needle. You can also use a size 16. 14 is a great needle to start with. I think you'll have more success with the 14 to begin with, okay? Okay, so this Martelli gripper, this ring here, has a little groove in it, so you can slide through your presser foot, just like that. See how nice that is? I love this. Let me take this back out. I want to show you something. I did a video a while ago on free motion ergonomic quilting. This has a nice, feels like kind of a drawer liner grip to it. Really nice. Yeah, so I did a free motion video a long time ago on ergonomics of quilting. And one of the reasons why I love these Martelli grippers, first of all, this ring, is because, number one, you've got great ergonomic here. Your shoulders will not kill you. You can do this all day and you will never have shoulder pain. The second thing that I love about it is that it's well made. This is very well made. It's nothing inexpensive, cheap here. Okay, we're talking, this is for serious people. And it's going to last you. And thirdly, this is made in the USA. Okay, so hard to find products that are made in the USA, and when we do, it is a blessing. It is a blessing. Now, let me find my thread here. It's so hard to find. So all I want to do is I just want to add a little bit of glitz to this pillow top that I made. And I'm going to put a link to the pillow top here I made in my description box below this video on YouTube. This is from my book Pillows, which was a #1 bestseller when it came out. It got lots of success for me in this technique that I created, which was taking a felting machine and using fancy fabrics to felt, or what I termed as punching, into a base fabric. And you can still get that book online. Just look it up. It's Pillows, Designer Sewing Techniques by me, Christopher Naiman. Now, here's what best thing about what I teach. What I teach is I teach that you can get real creative and beautiful results without having to have what they used to call the quilting police on your side against you. Okay, you're not going to go to jail for not doing a good job, because with me it's all about just getting the glitz on the pillow. Okay, and you can put it on any way basically you like when you're doing this free motion. Now right now I'm going to bring up the bobbin thread. There it is. All right. And then I'm going to just do random circles throughout this whole pillow top. You're just going to watch me do some random. First, let me tack this down here. Move it a little bit. There we go. And then let me cut this thread. If you've never free motion quilted before or free motion embroidery, it is very relaxing. My technique makes it easy for you because guess what? We're going to cross the lines. We're going to break rules because it's all about creating art. And in art, there's lines crossed, there's splashing, there's all kinds of things that, you know, in contemporary art, in graphic art, in emotional art, that's what you're going to do. That's how you're going to express it. So let me just do this for you, and I want you to enjoy me doing it. Now, if I get to a point where I can't move anymore, I'm just going to turn this around like this. And now I can move and do it out here. See, the cool thing about this is it's got a grip over here, and I can go all the way out here to the end. I just grab that. Isn't that great? I do circles, whatever I want, and then bring it back. Now let's do it. Now, one thing I do want to stress is because this is a pillow top, I'm going to have a seam allowance here. I got like I use about a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so you don't have to worry about going away to the ends when you're making pillows. All you want to do is make sure you get that glitz on here. I love this opal color. This opal color to me is just so beautiful. You can use any color that you want on your pillow top. It's up to you. But what I love about the opal color is that it picks up different colors and gives it that, just like an opal ring, you're going to see different colors. I'll never forget when I was in grade school, my friend Lisa Mamana had an opal color ring. And every time I use this thread, I remember that ring that she had, which was opal color. And I'll never forget that. And the day I got this thread and discovered this thread, I'm like, oh, I remember that ring from a girl who wore one like that in grade school. Can you believe I even remember way back that far? So Lisa, if you're watching this, do you remember that opal ring you had? Lisa's my friend on Facebook. We've been friends since grade school. Okay, here we go. See how much fun that is? How about some traveling music while I do this? Okay? I'm going to shut up for a while and you can just sit back, relax, and watch me do this. Okay? How about some traveling music? Okay, now I want to show you what I got so far. Let's see here, where are we at? Okay, over here. I'm going to show you underneath. It's all the white bobbin thread. You see? It's all that white bobbin thread coming through. Or that's down there from the white bobbin thread. You see how there's nothing pulling down, it's really hard. You got a few spots where the sliver thread comes through, but nothing like there's no big major looping or anything. And I want to point out that this machine is on auto tension. Some machines you have to adjust your tension and loosen it a little bit because of the metallic thread. But this machine has a really good tension assembly, so it's working out pretty good. My Singer XL550 has a good auto tension also, and I never have to really adjust much with that either. In certain situations you do, so don't take this word as solid, but in most situations, you really don't have to. You buy good equipment, you don't have to mess around. Just like what I'm using right here. You're not going to have shoulder pain. And if you notice, I have the big flat extension table I made. I'll get a picture of this at the end to show you. I made this extension table. You can't really sew properly or do free motion work without the extension table. So many people will buy a sewing machine, they won't have an extension table, they'll go to sew and they're going like this when they sew. That's the wrong way to sew. The right way to sew is make sure you have your hands out and feeding that fabric properly. So the fabric stays flat and your arms are feeding and it's laying better for you. And 99% of the time, you don't even need to use pins when you sew because you use your fingers as pins. That's all part of industrial sewing. And if you want to learn more about industrial sewing, check out Islander sewing videos online. Their videos are phenomenal. I've been watching them since years ago. You heard me talk about them all these years. They work great. They will teach you how to be a professional sewer on a home sewing machine, doing industrial sewing on a home sewing machine. Now, as far as free motion embroidery, quilting, like I said, my technique that I'm teaching you on this pillow, which is from my book pillows, you don't have to be a perfect quilter. What we're doing is random. Everything here is random. I'm just doing squiggly circles because I just want to coat this with this flat metallic thread to give it glisten, because it's all about giving glisten to this. That's what it's all about. And you can make it as little as you want, you can do as much as you want, it's up to you. Now I'm going to increase my speed here. And you don't have to worry about how many stitches per inch when you're doing this. It doesn't matter in my technique. Like I said, what matters is the glitter you're putting on. This is the glitter thread. It's called sliver thread, but I like to call it tinsel glitter thread. So one thing I want to point out too is when you're doing this free motion work, you want to move to like the rhythm of the machine. So in other words, you're not going to move real fast. You want the needle to move fast, and you're going to move this slow and consistently. If you go and start jerking and moving too fast, you'll break the thread and you'll break the needle. Okay? Keep that thought in mind. So I'm not going to do this whole thing, I'm just going to finish a little bit here and I'll show you the differences. So this will give you a taste of what this is all about. Now I've acquired a lot of new following on Facebook and on YouTube here, and a lot of you didn't know that I wrote this book Pillows in 2007, how to get this decorative topping of the pillow. That book was all about texture, and I used pillows as the canvas to create on. So that's how we got, that's how Pillows was developed. Pillows was developed because I had all these creative ideas with this artwork, and I said, what's the medium I'm going to put it on so I can at least display it? So then I created the pillows to put it on, and that's how it came about. So that book is out of print, but you can still buy it used everywhere. Just do a Google search for it. Alright, so let me lift the needle here. Let me take this out and cut the thread now, because I'm going to go back and finish this a little bit later, but I want to show you what it looks like now. Alright, so you can see with all the texture here. I'm going to move the camera in here so you can see better. Let me cut this excess thread off there. I'll get the camera, move it in here, and show you what all that glitter thread looks like, and you can see without it. Okay, so there's areas right here where there's not any thread, and then here you can see where the glitter thread is. And it just gives you more sparkle, a lot more sparkle. To learn more about how to do these texture techniques, check out my book Pillows, as I explained, and there's a link in the description box below of a video showing you how I actually texture at the felting machine. So here's some more free motion for you all to enjoy, and you're going to love it. It's really great, and like I said, there's all different adapters for your machine for this, those small spools of metallic threads, and this one is a pin, an excess spool pin here. It comes with my machine. It's actually meant to go in this direction, okay, but I put it in this direction. I used a large spool cap so it stays there, and as like I said, you have to make sure that it freely flows, but you want that spool cap also pretty close but not tight. You got to make sure it still moves, because in case that thread happens to slip around or bounce around, you don't want it getting caught around the pin. I explained that in all my metallic thread videos. Okay, all right, enjoy everybody, and get yourself one of these grips if you're really serious about doing this kind of work. It's fabulous, just fabulous. Okay. All right, take care, everybody. Till my next video, happy sewing and embroidery. Bye now.